An important decision is afoot. This man is about to buy tires on TireRack.com. Tire Rack is the leading online retailer of tires in North America and a repository of advice and expert reviews. And it's done! All that's left is to arrange for safe, easy installation at one of our independent recommended installers. Well, I guess he did that too. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system, pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Yes. Hon, the WeatherTech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Welcome back to Road America. It's a beautiful day here, and as you can see, the car shows are in full session. Hoods are up, and picnics are out. Everybody enjoying a little bit of time in the deck chairs, sitting in the sunshine here in Wisconsin. And the Batmobile is about to take on the world as we turn our attention to the PSSA feature race. Small field. And if you were with us this morning, 3 of the cars involved in this championship actually did take part in the IGT run, which was kind of unexpected, and I thought they were going to replace them. Come on in, Rob.
Thanks, guys. We've got Rob Elson joining us here. This is Ben Sissel speaking now, but Rob told me that it was decided that PSSA was going to join the IGT Enduro, but I guess that didn't get put on the schedule, and nobody knew about it. But it was a cool surprise. They've done it before. I was actually thinking last night that it might happen just because it's kind of one of the promises that's given to PSSA is a lot of run time with us. But the rest, I'll just say it politely, the rest of the PSSA cars have entered the field. We've got Ron Fletcher in first, Zach Mosley second, Dario Cangliazzi in third, James French fourth, Clay Keel fifth, Gobel Newsom sixth, and Harry Colson seventh. So, Rob, give us a little brief overview about this PSSA organization. You're the big boss of PSSA.
Thanks, Ben. I'm managing PSSA is sort of a step up for me from previously just being technical director, and we're trying to build the field. We have invited a lot of cars, talked to a lot of people. As we go forward, I believe we'll get a lot more of these cars out there. This is a series for just about any prototype car, LMP3 and cars like that on down to the Radicals and the Sebecos that we see here.
We're looking now at the Sebecos as they come into Mission Foods Turn 5. Very cool. So explain this platform.
Well, this platform was developed initially as a spec prototype class for National Auto Sport Association, and they have a few races there, and some of the guys felt like they wanted to break out and do some other races. So they've come with us. We do some nice races that have historic tracks and some good crowds, and they wanted to be a part of that.
So Racing Data Systems is saying, they're calling me out, saying, Ben, we need a place to run LMP2s and 3s. What do you say to that?
The whole intent of this was to have LMP3 be the sort of ceiling level of of performance on these cars. It's intended to be a learning class. When you get to LMP2, you're into a car that's got a lot more performance potential, and not really a learning class. That's a full-on pro platform.
Well, if you're listening really closely, that was you can hear the drone pilots talking to one of the fans, and they were talking in the white van down there. But yeah, Rob, this is a class that you and we've talked about this. We really expected this to grow and really go, and it just seems like once they kind of dip their toe in the water, they love it. But we just need to figure out a way to get people that have these cars that qualify to dip their toe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's a number of places to race these kind of cars. We're just trying to provide events and a platform where they can enjoy it and have the best experience possible. And we hope that we'll get more cars all the time.
And now, just so you know, when this race starts in the green flag, there's different classes. So the Sebecos are basically racing kind of in their own class, and the Revolutions up front are kind of racing in their own class. So don't think that the Sebecos are really falling back, because it's basically a race within a race here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Jonathan, here they come to take the green behind that beautiful Road America Corvette.
Yeah, as you can see, they are lining up 2 by 2. A small field, but should be some good racing as they're coming up the hill towards our commentary position in the big main grandstand there. And a fantastic day for racing here at Road America. PSSA feature race on its way. And the green flag waves, and away we go. And in a moment they'll pop out, and sure enough, right in the middle of the shot is the Batman Mobile.
Yeah,
but he's not leading. He's dropped back down to fourth.
That is odd. I'm not used to seeing Ron Fletcher drop back like that. It looks like maybe something is
awry
going on. Maybe the red phone to Commissioner Gordon's not working, but we've got Zach Mosley out front coming
Mosley
through turn 3.
Well. Great start from Zach Mosley.
And if that's the James French that I know in that number 33, a very, very talented driver currently in second.
Under the Sargento Bridge then, and down towards turn 5. Always a critical corner here. A lot of overtaking takes place here. We saw it in the previous races, and here they come. But Zach is off and running. Look at the gap he's already created.
Yep, which is normal for the Revolution and the Sebecos. But we do have Rob Elson in here with us, our tech director for SVRA, but the man at the helm of PSSA. So if you have any questions joining us on YouTube, please let us know, and Rob will be happy to
engage.
To engage. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading some. So we've got Cangliosi Racing is saying, hey, even the Sebeco cars are a different class.
Yeah, the 33 car is in our PS2 class, we call it. The 33 car has a uprated engine, a little bit different aero. The rear wing configuration is slightly different than the PS3 cars, which are a 2-liter stock engine. It's a development that the Sebeco cars are undergoing to try and get more cars on the grid, more excitement for the guys who own them.
Interesting, you're just reading up on the PSSAs, because it's still not a familiar group of cars to me, but 20 different chassis, all eligible for competition here. That's quite a number.
It's quite a number, and we're looking forward to having some of those chassis join us.
Radical, Revolution, Ligier, Wolf, Sebeco we've already mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had good conversation with the Wolf representatives, and we believe we're going to get some of those cars to run with us. I've been talking pretty frequently with teams that have Ligier and DuQuoin chassis, and they're doing some other series at this time, and we feel we'll get some of them to race with us as well.
Ron Fletcher leading the championship at the moment. Judd Miller, who was involved in a big crash yesterday, in second place. Zach Mosley, the man leading at the moment, currently in third. This is PS1 I'm talking about now. And Chris Hinosa, who was also in our IGT race earlier this weekend, is currently in fourth position. Field spreading out now as they turn into turn 5 again. Glad to say that they cleaned up the oil that was knocked out earlier in the day by one of the PSSA cars.
I'm actually texting Jason right now to see if we can give us any information on Ron Fletcher. Love the livery of this 84 of Clay Keel, the red, white, and blue. As they come through turn 5 to 6 up the hill, and then a very difficult 6. There's Ron Fletcher there in the Why So Serious Batmobile.
We got a question from Zach Bardwell saying, is it more affordable as a class to get into than LMP3?
The cars are identical. The tires are about the same price. The only thing, our entry fees are a little bit less than some of the other organizations, and I think we get a good value for track time. But the car itself is an LMP3 car the other cars I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I believe the Revolution are maybe a little bit less expensive than an LMP3 car. Certainly these Sebecos are really popularly priced, I'll call it, and it should provide a wide variety of people an opportunity to race at this level.
And you could hear a difference. That time, that shot there, that static shot, you could hear the difference between French's car and the other Sebecos in the field. It just seemed a little bit throatier. As they come up the hill through Bennett Bridge Hall. Now that is our leader there, Mosley. We have seen this car at several different events. Just a beautiful car.
Yeah, sounds great, doesn't it? Coming out of one.
The Chapard car of Zach Mosley. Now, when you're checking these cars, you and Julie do a great job, but what are some of the things that you're looking for?
The primary thing we're looking at, these are all relatively new cars, and so what we're looking at is the safety aspects. We check all the safety systems in the car. A lot of the stuff that we look at is really regulated by the fact that they're all built to a specific, a single specification. So we're looking at the supercharger, we're looking at the engine, make sure there's no modifications made. Taking a look at the suspension to make sure nobody's trying to build custom pieces that don't come from the constructors. It's really a series that is designed around building and racing the car as the constructor has built it.
You got a rough idea on budget? There's quite a few people out on the internet just wondering what kind of budgets, just in round figures, for a season of this kind of racing. Do you know that, Bob?
No, don't ask me. I would have no idea. I don't even know what the cars cost new. I know that the Revolutions, I've heard all kinds of different numbers. I think yesterday you were saying the Sebecos are a little over $100,000. Is that right?
Yeah, the Sebeco's a little over 100. The Revolutions, I believe, are a little over 200. And I don't know the current pricing on perhaps an LMP3 car. I've not seen the price list on one of those recently, but tires are a commodity that is probably one of the higher cost items for anybody. Tires are about $2,000 a set, and they generally would use a set of tires for each sprint race and maybe one for qualifying. So you probably in this with your crew and travel and everything for $12,000 or $15,000 a weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Zach Mosley doing a 2:12.182.
Yeah, we had a question about the lap times.
2:15.4. Dario is a 2:16.7. Clay Keel a 2:20. Goebel Newsom a 2:21. Ron Fletcher a 2:22.7. And Harry Colson a 2:25.6. Zach Mosley, the current leader. Do you have any idea what's going on with Ron Fletcher? I know I saw on Jason Miles's Facebook yesterday that they worked all night on that car and had to come up with kind of a, I guess, their own kind of engineering fix for something. So maybe that's acting up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They were having a little bit of an issue when they participated in the IGT Enduro this morning, and I visited with them in the paddock. They were working at it, looking at some of the electronics, and it seems like maybe they're just having an electrical gremlin situation.
They sound great. They really do. especially coming on through the carousel as we see here. Mosley with a 7-second lead now. He really is handing it to them at the moment. French still second through Kettle Bottoms. Coming out of the kink.
So that's the gap between Mosley and French.
Yep.
Your PS1 leader versus your PS2 leader. So
Hankook provides the tires for the series. So this is presented by Hankook Tires. And if you win the championship, you get a set of tires. You get, I think, $10,000 cash. But also Hankook at many of our events are on site to help out with the tires and the wheels. And I heard that they're even developing wheels for some other cars that they may not have yet. Is that true, Rob?
yeah, well, yeah, we're in constant communication with Hankook as people approach us to make sure that we have appropriate sizing for these potential new entries. And currently, yeah, they've got sizing for any of the entries that we have listed in our regulation, so that wouldn't be a problem if anyone wanted to join. There are tires available.
This car coming down into, that's Cangliosi, and I know that some of you have joined us, Cangliosi, so make sure I'm saying that right. Give us a phonetic spelling if we are getting that wrong.
I think that's pretty close. Yeah, currently in third position. And here's French in second, just coming through shot. We'll see Cangliosi coming through. Here he is.
You can see it duck down on the brakes, hard on the brakes into Mission Foods turn 5, and then up the hill, going through the gears. And Road America is tough on gearboxes and rear ends for that reason. It goes from like top speed to low speed, back to top speed, back to low speed. And then it's got that long carousel that's just really trying to eat up your tires and suspension. This is a long downhill into turn 8 to a left-hander. And now this is the carousel. This is what I always think just makes or breaks your lap, because you're just holding it right on that edge, right at the edge of the adhesion of the tires. The G-forces are trying to throw you out into that beach.
Yeah.
And then you got to be this long chute into the kink, which is a blind corner, very fast corner, but you don't want to get it wrong because you can see the wall right there because of the railroad tracks.
Many have.
And that has really ended a lot of careers and torn up a lot of cars, the kink has over the years.
Gangjalosi, says Nick Coots.
Thank you.
Probably got his name wrong now.
Gangjalosi. We're going to try to do better at that then. Thank you for that. So that is Keel and Newsom going at it. That's probably our best race on the track right now, racing for 4th and 5th. As they come up, you'll see them bottom left, come up Canada Corner, up the bottom left here, now into Bennett Bridge Hall. Look at this, side by side. Now Newsom overtaking. Newsom in that 99 PS3. This is a PS3 battle.
That was a little risky, especially with the rain, because obviously offline, if you aren't in Wisconsin, you'll know that, or you won't know that how much rain we've had, and any time you go off into the grass here at Road America, that is a dicey moment.
Clay Keel into the pits. We saw him pull into the pits there. So now Newsom second in PS3. Do they turbos? Is that a turbo I'm hearing in this car?
No, these cars don't have turbochargers. The Revolution has a supercharger, the Revolution 500.
What is that whining noise I'm hearing then?
It could be...
That's me commentating.
Could be just a gear noise. They've got straight cut gears in these gearboxes, and that sometimes makes a little bit of noise.
And we don't require a number on the nose, huh?
Well, he doesn't have a number on the nose, does he?
So does that answer my question?
No, I don't think that answers your question exactly. Yeah, we probably do require a number on the nose. He probably slipped through on that one for us.
Mosley increasing his lead now to 14 seconds, but of course, like you said, two different categories, PS1 and PS2 in second place at the moment, and so that's hence the spread out field. We've got different categories involved in this.
He is using every bit of the track. He went wide at Bennett Bridge Hall 14, just went wide there at 8. Just staying on the apron, giving every bit of the track he can. That's what your driver coach will tell you, to use all of the track.
Yeah, let it out.
Ron Fletcher there, all the way from Gotham City. Not used to seeing Ron in the back of the field. Not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, there's something. Right at the start, he went backwards, didn't he? Yeah, there's no question that the fans out on our internet, YouTube, really liking the design of these cars. They are real space age, futuristic looking cars, aren't they?
Yeah, this car here looks like a 20-year jump in the future. The Ron Fletcher Batmobile. And one of the fan favorites in any paddock, really.
Yeah. They've even got their lollipop is a bat.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. Very distinctive.
And you would think that these cars would be center seats, but they aren't. You can't really call them center seats. It's kind of like Can-Am back in the day where they required a passenger seat. It's more like that. There's not really a passenger seat, but you can't really quantify the Revolutions as center seats. How about the Sebecos? I can't see inside those.
The Sebeco is pretty much a center seat. It's not quite exactly centered, but it's a pretty small cockpit area, and so it's pretty close to center. You'd have a hard time getting two people in that driving compartment.
Yeah, we're getting Racing Data Systems is saying, use all the track, you paid for it. That is correct. Or if you don't use all the track, you may pay for it.
Aha.
I like where Revolution put the brake lights on the car. It's just a really well-designed car, just aesthetically.
Well, there you get to see that center seat you're talking about.
Just a few weeks ago, Rob and I had the pleasure of having, they're called Fun Cup Beetles.
Yeah.
Center seat Beetles. I've
Yeah,
always watched them
fun,
in Europe, and we had two of them at Pit Race, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Cool looking cars. Well, that's Keel coming in, and not an expected stop, but he's out and about again in the 84. Away he goes. Currently, or was in 6th place, and now will have dropped down, I'm sure. And in fact, he's actually retired the car. Yeah. Okay. So whatever the problem was.
Yeah, actually, Squatch Chicane is saying that he just went on the website and read all about the Revolution 500 Evo, and it's a killer race car. And Zach Bardwell says, I want one. So, yeah, please join us. Come join us, play. Yeah. Talk to Rob. I'm sure you can ask Rob all the questions. You will find his email on our svra.com website.
Yeah, early days for this championship, and I think the basic idea is that it will grow. There are plenty of chassis available out there, and cars like this, and it's a case of just, like I said, putting them out and making people more aware.
This car was with us at the beginning of the season at Thunder Hill with a little bit different wrap on it. It seems like he's got something new on the car every time he shows up to one of our races.
Very planted. There's no movement of the car. It's very nicely planted to the ground and under braking even at 5, which is heavy braking, and as are all the corners here at Road America. But these cars just absolutely dealing with that acceleration down and deceleration quickly. Here's your leader again.
Zach Mosley, who we're seeing, has brought his times down by almost 3 seconds. He was 2:12. Now he's at a 2:09.9. You don't often see that. That speaks to the cars and the tires, these hand-cooked tires, but he's, dropped about 2.5 seconds from his best time this late in the race.
The 4.56 of Harry Colson coming in. So Clay Keel was wheeled away, and it looks as though this is going to be the same for Harry.
This is not normal. I'm not used to seeing PSSA cars come in with mechanicals like this. Usually they're finishing the whole race.
Not normal at all. It's
pretty reliable usually, yeah.
Going to take a little bit of investigation after the race, see what we've got going on there.
And for you who are inquiring, like Bob Dole, the next race is our feature race, the TA. And the green flag will be at 13:05. We'll start our coverage a little earlier than that. And obviously Ben will walk us through the grid. An exciting field. Brent Cruz taking part for the first time in TA, which also kind of changes the apple cart, as it were, or tips it over a little bit.
In a car that won here just a few years ago at Casgrala.
Yeah.
So, the Cruz missile. Look for him out there. But Paul Menard defending his championship. So maybe they just ran out of fuel.
Could be, yeah. That's what they're doing, is putting some fuel in it. Just a couple of laps to go then in our feature race 2 for PSSA. They ran yesterday. Some of them ran this morning.
Not sure why they pulled it there to put fuel in. Here's our leader, Zach Mosley.
Getting a little loose now.
Ran a 2:10.6 last time. Let's see what this new time is.
2:09.9. No, 2:10 that last time. Yeah, 2:10.4.
So he's running a very consistent lap. I like that rear wing reverse dihedral shape. That's just a really cool shape when you're looking at the car straight on like that. What are you seeing, Rob?
Just looking at the cars, they all look like they're pretty stable. I'm just a little bit confused as to how the 4.56 would have missed on his fuel strategy that much. But we'll see what happened, and I'll go talk to the teams after the race here and see if I can learn some things.
They are allowed to refuel in their pit stall, but I don't think his crew was dressed for it. They have to have gloves, a fire suit, a helmet, a fire extinguisher. So maybe they said you've got to go into the paddock. I don't know if we technically would call that the paddock, but I guess we're going to let it go because he's back on track with some fuel.
Yeah, here he comes.
That is Will Huxtable, our black flag.
Trying to get out of the way of the camera?
Yeah.
You can't get out of the way of Tony Garcia.
No.
He's just ever present. So, closing stages of this one. More racing to come, and we mentioned our feature race coming up. We've also got some more single-seater action coming your way with the FRP Formula Atlantic and F2000 race. That's coming up later today. But, of course, our feature race will be the TA and the production class Trans Am race. Love coming to Road America. It is, in Trans Am history, I think the most used circuit we go to, right, in terms of Trans Am over the history. Or we've been here on more occasions than any other.
I'd say here, maybe Sebring.
Yeah.
Not sure Rob would know that. He was in Trans Am in the I'd say there's three kind of waves of the glory days of Trans Am. There's that 66 to 72, then the era that Rob was the head of the Trans Am tech department, which was, what years, Rob, was that have been?
Well, I was in there from 93 to 2000, and we really didn't do Sebring much then. We started again later in the 90s, but Sebring was certainly one of the early race staples of the series.
Final lap for Zach Mosley.
Under the Sargento Bridge for the last time. It's been a bit of a cakewalk for him out front.
Yeah, he dropped 4 seconds on that lap.
Amazing. Yeah, best lap of 2:09.906 as he dives into 5 and back up the hill.
Looking at the rear exhaust of these, they both come together and then they're kind of welded together, and then they take a 90-degree angle
right
out.
in the middle to get out to the exhaust outlet.
It's a neat design, but seems like your normal Meineke is not going to be able to make that exhaust for you.
There's not much on these cars your normal anybody can make.
Yeah.
These are very, very, very specialized vehicles.
Yep. Hence the name prototype.
Exactly.
Out of the carousel then for the last time. And a walk in the park that is Road America. Under the Mission Bridge then. Into the kink. And executing it perfectly in terms of line. Through Kettle Bottoms and down towards Canada for the last time.
Ooh, went a little bit far left there. You can see he smoked his brakes. So Zach, stay on track, man. You've got the lead by 30 seconds.
You're always wondering about concentration when you're this far ahead.
The Bennett Bridge hole turn 14. Last turn, Jonathan.
Here we go. Back up the hill then for the final time. And as he rises over the crest, he will see that checkered flag, which I can see right in front of me. He is slowing down.
He's slowing way down.
He wants to take it all in. Here it is. Checkered flag then waves, and he'll just come over the crest now.
I was hearing Mrs. Robinson, and my ears getting slower and slower, like in The Graduate. It looks like he may have run out of fuel. Because he's not speeding up.
No, he's not.
And he's looking for where to go.
James French comes across the line in
He's
second.
trying to come into pit lane.
He is.
Counter race. Look at that. Can he make it? James French is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's parked it up.
And now James French is like, oh, I was about 1,000 feet from winning this race.
Yeah, good point, yeah.
Oh, cuckoo cachoo, Zach Mosley.
Yeah.
That was, I wish we would have known. I wish somebody from the crew would have said, we may not make this.
Made it a lot more exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Java Jack says easy win. I bet you the last 2 laps. Because I was saying he went from a 210 to a 214.
All right.
So he was in basically economy mode there at the end. So a lot of the PSSA teams learning their fuel strategies today here in this race.
Yes.
Well, Rob, when is the next PSSA race on our calendar? Jersey?
No.
I just put you on the spot.
Yeah, Lime Rock, I believe, with
Lime Rock. Yes, the Lime Rock All-Star race.
Okay,
yeah, that'll be cool. Ooh, PSSA at Lime Rock. That'll be very interesting.
Yeah, that's a perfect track for it, yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking about Trans Am. Lime Rock has to be one of the longest running Trans Am tracks as well.
Good point. So Mosley French and Cagliosi, Dario in third position. We'll take a quick look at the highlights of our PSSA coverage. Our thanks to Rob for joining us. And away they went, and into turn one, no problems, no niggles at the start. And in fact, Zach Mosley getting away well. There's the 33 of James French, holding on to second place. A little bit of a moment there, slightly wide, but A-OK. Rob French. Ron Fletcher, excuse me, in the 19. In the end, finishing in fourth position, and a fuel problem for the 4, 5, 6, and almost a problem for Zach Mosley as he pulls over after taking the checkered flag. Well, he's going to try and get it going again, but well, we might have to push him. We'll take a short break here from Road America, and we'll start getting ready for our feature race, the Trans Am and the GT production cars in action very soon. Stay with us.
for SVRA action? Well, the best way to enjoy classic auto racing is with a delicious classic from Mission Foods. Green flag your race-watching snacks with Mission's mouth-watering race day recipes. Try some of our tasty tacos, piled high nachos, fresh chips with guac, and more. So gear up your ride and fuel up those stomachs with delicious Mission Foods. Now that's too fast, too tasty.